Half an hour after he broke through, the results of quenching body record were evident. Although his own knowledge contributed, if not for that technique, he believed that he needed another 3-4 months before advancing. With this, he breathed in deeply and exhaled out the impurities in his body. From within his mouth, out came a pitch-black smoke. Filthy, as it tumbled to the ground. After expectorating this smoke out, his 6 senses all became more acute and sharpened. TLN, he's been possessed by a demon. Supernatural style, senses, sound, touch, sight, taste, smell and 6th sense, instinct. Was this his body's impurity? Kai Yong shook on the spot. With the practice of cultivation you will reduce and drain the body of impurities each time. Kai Yong previously had experienced this, but never at this level. Numerous ideas and joy lingered in his mind. Although he had successfully entered the 4th layer, he had made no real progress in the tempered body records fist technique. His daily practice could only produce 1% of the total result out of the 101 punches. Hasty men don't eat hot tofu, and with a hasty heart, you won't be able to feel a hot butt. TLN, saying that have patience and results will come, if you rush you will miss things. Thinking for a while, Kai Yong planned a bit of his future. Even though it wasn't thorough, he could no longer be like how he had been, taking each step as it came. For after a while, you couldn't help but become impatient. Then after eating something he continued to sweep the area. Although he was a sweeper, it didn't mean that he needed to sweep the entire school. He was only responsible for 1/10 of the school. Even though it was cumbersome, it would only take an hour or so. Within the trees, Xia Ning Chang had started to monitor the disciples and inadvertently saw Kai Yong sweeping away. To not have some emotions would be weird. Today, there was something different about him, but she wasn't sure. For over half an hour, he hadn't left that spot, sweeping it until it was shiny and spotless. It was so slick that if a mosquito were to go on, it would have a sprained ankle. TLN, trying to express how clean it is. This author has a major issue with mosquitoes, I say. This guy, Xia Ning Chang, didn't know what to do with him. At that moment, Kai Yong was thinking about other things. Yesterday he had obtained a huge opportunity, so naturally he was considering his future. But no real options were found. He could only continue to practice at sunrise every day for now. While he was pondering, rapid footsteps approached quickly from behind. He quickly went to dodge, but didn't realize that the other party was making preparations to avoid him too. So they crashed into each other. Though he didn't sustain any major injuries, when he crashed into that person, it felt as if he had crashed into a steel wall. With a cry, he fell to the ground and the place he bumped felt numb. Kai Yong quickly recovered and apologetically asked, "This fellow disciple, are you okay?" The young man was annoyed, and when he looked up to see that it was Kai Yong, that explosive anger dissipated. Holding anger for such person held no meaning, and it was also his own fault. Replying immediately while waving his hands, "It's all right, it's all right." While saying this and getting up, he then energetically ran away. Kai Yong asked, "Fellow disciple, where are you going to hurriedly?" The young man faintly shouted, "The contribution hall, where else?" Listening to his words, Kai Yong realized that today was already the 8th day of the month. It was the day where the main gate distributed last month's contribution points. So every month of this day, the logistics department would be crowded with disciples flocking to collect their points. With these points they could exchange them for various cultivation pills, treasures and martial arts to improve their strength. So this day made all disciples all excited. Some were excited, while others disappointed. Kai Yong was of the latter. Startled, he couldn't help but frown. Each month, the amount of points he received was quite meager. Sweepers could earn 10 points, but in the last month he was challenged 6 times, and each time he lost. With reductions after each loss, he was only left with 4 points. This really made people cry. Fortunately, he was only a trial disciple. His status was the lowest, so if he lost, he would only lose 1 point. Normal disciples lost too. Thinking of this, Kai Yong was thankful. But even a small mosquito has flesh. And with his savings, he will one day earn enough to exchange them for something worthwhile. TLN, again, what does the author have with mosquitoes? There had been enough delay today, he thought as he continued to sweep. When he had finally finished the job, it was noon. Time to go to the hall to collect his points. After the morning's bustle, the hall was now deserted and quiet. Thankfully he hadn't came in the morning, or the wait would have been too troublesome. Waltzing into the hall, you could clearly see an old man dozing away. This old man was the treasurer of the school. He was about 50 with thin white hair and a kind face. Looking at him, he looked harmless to animals and humans, but Kai Young knew he was a sly fox. There was once an elite disciple who dared to act arrogant here and was then pushed out of the hall a few hundred feet. His life was almost taken. Kai Young was present, so he knew this and also knew that his old man held unfathomable strength. Stepping into the view of the old man, Kai Young could clearly see the old man snoring away. This old thing. Don't know which female Sky Tower disciple he is dreaming about again. ED doesn't even give the old guy the benefit of the doubt. Holding a broom, he gently nudged the old man while softly calling, "Treasurer Meng." The old man's surname was Meng, his first name Kai Young didn't know, so he couldn't call him that. Tapping the counter a few times, the old man was finally awoken. He groggily opened up his eyes and saw that it was Kai Young. Wrinkling his face as if he saw S***T. TLN, for young viewers, just in case. What's with that face? Kai Young asked indignantly. Rolling his eyes, why didn't you come in the morning? Confidently he replied, there were too many people in the morning, and currently it's peaceful. Interrupting this old man's rest. Do you know what respecting the elderly means? Leaning in, Kai Young whispered, which young lady did you dream of? Suddenly full of energy, Treasurer Meng replied to Kai Young with eyes full of contempt and loudly proclaimed, your words just now tarnished this old man's reputation. Too outrageous. Good body figure? Great. Treasurer Meng unconsciously leaked out. GG, I had high hopes, but alas they were shattered. Supple legs, white skin and a beautiful, thin waist. EN. Immediately he nodded his head, immediately thinking Kai Young as a friend. Kai Young sneered. Treasurer Meng stammered and blushed as bright as a monkey's ass. Full of shame, he just wanted to dig a hole and crawl inside to hide.